you know that I'm not a big awards guy. I've told the story. I worked in radio and TV at a local level for about 15 years, 14 to be exact. The people winning the awards weren't the most talented people. The people that won the awards were the people that wanted to win awards and fill their resume tape. The best reporters and the best cameramen were too busy to worry about awards. They were out kicking butt, covering fires, 6-alarm blazes, crime on the streets. I'm not an award guy. I don't care how many Emmys you've won. I don't care how many MVPs you won. You're going to tell me Steph Curry's the MVP of the NBA. If Steph Curry didn't play the rest of the year, the Warriors would be in the Western Conference Finals. If LeBron twisted his ankle and was out for the rest of the year, they wouldn't get out of the first round in Cleveland. The economy would tank. LeBron's the MVP for a decade. There's not even an argument. So was Michael Jordan. But we give it to Derrick Rose. We'll give it to Steph Curry. We'll give it to... That's what we do. They're good stories. So I'm not really into MVP awards. But I saw this morning all the people up for the MVP award, and it was Matt and Aaron Rodgers and Brady and Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott and Le'Veon Bell. And there was no Derek Carr. Well, that's interesting. So Tom Brady missed a month. Not only did his backup go undefeated, the backup's backup won a game. New England went 3-1 without Brady. Extrapolate that over a season, they'd be a playoff team. Matt Ryan has the best running back tandem in the National Football League. And, oh, by the way, in a weak division where he got 6 touchdowns and 600 yards just against the Saints, he's had quite a year. Aaron Rodgers' first 9 games, his passer rating was 94. Ezekiel Elliott touches the ball 23 times a game. Okay. Let me describe to you Derek Carr, who isn't, I guess, good enough to be top 6. All right. So if it's all about stats, then we should just give it to Drew Brees every year, right? So Derek Carr goes in the toughest division in football. He takes over a losing culture. In fact, outside of Cleveland, the Raiders have been the biggest joke in the NFL for most of the last 15 years. He takes over a losing culture. He wins 12 games, has 7 game-winning drives, 5 game-winning touchdown drives in fourth or overtime, which sets an NFL record. It's the toughest division in football, unlike what Matt Ryan faces. It's the first playoff appearance by Oakland in 14 years. He goes 28 TDs, 6 picks, 4,000 yards in less than 15 games. And in the last month of the season, he has to be out of the shotgun because he can't take a snap because of an injury to his hand. So the defense knows they got no running game. And oh, by the way, of all the MVP candidates, who has the worst defense? Derek Carr. Derek Carr, yards per play, Raiders' worst defense in the league. He has to win shootouts every week. He has a hit-and-miss running game. And unlike Tom Brady, who sat for a month and his backup's backup won a game, when Derek Carr left, the Raiders didn't only not win games, the Raiders couldn't pick up first downs. And he's not in the MVP talk. Forget winning games. They couldn't pick up first downs. To me, MVP and valuable mean different things. LeBron James leaves a team, Miami and Cleveland, and they plummet. You take Steph Curry off the Warriors, Draymond, Durant, Klay Thompson, even last year, they're in the Western Conference Finals. MVP is what you do to a locker room. Kurt Warner took 2 losing organizations, St. Louis and Arizona, changed the culture. Curt Schilling took over 2 losing, laughable franchises. Arizona won a series and then goes to Boston for years, all sorts of talent, couldn't get over the top, finally beats the Yankees. What is valuable? Valuable to me is when Howard Stern left radio, literally FM radio died. It died. When the Beatles left music, it didn't die. Howard Stern's valuable. LeBron left Cleveland, the franchise died. Michael Jordan left the Bulls, and he's great. They went 57 wins to 55. Still viable. A Hugh Collins call from the finals again. In the toughest division in football, with a good coach many don't consider great, with the worst defense of all the MVP candidates, in the last month could only play out of one shotgun position, and Derek Carr's not a top 6 MVP candidate, I know he's not going to win. You're not putting him in there? You're out of your gourd. You don't know football. You don't even understand the game. Raiders couldn't pick up first downs without him. He has carried the Raiders this year. They don't have a running game. They don't have a defense. They got a good coach, not a great one. That division's got John Elway running it. Andy Reid. Have you seen Denver and Kansas City's personnel defensively? We've proven in this league you can win a Super Bowl with a great defense, Denver, and a quarterback, Peyton, not in his prime. Trent Dilfer. We've seen it, Brad Johnson. You can't win a Super Bowl with a horrible defense. 3 weeks ago, what was the only team we thought could go into New England and beat Belichick and Brady? Wasn't it Derek Carr and the Raiders? Now, they're going to get beat by Tom Savage. And he's not an MVP candidate? He's not in the top 6? Wow. We have lost an understanding of the word valuable.